Hey, good morning. I'm showing 0700. We'll get started with today's operational briefing for July 22nd, 2021. My name is Chris Creer, the Plant Section Chief for IMT1. If you do me a favor, silence your cell phones. Take all side conversations outside the briefing area so that everybody gets a good briefing. We'll get started with the incident situation update.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First thing I want to touch on is you guys may not realize it, but you are making a difference. You go out there and you put in a day's worth of work and you think, man, all we had was losses today. But actually looking at it, we are getting ahead of this thing. It's just taking little bites at a time. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Working down here in Division Alpha, Bravo, Foxtrot, and Mike, it's all looking really good. They're going to start to evaluate that today and possibly pull out some hose. So before you go and pull out any hose, touch with your divisions or your branches, make sure, because we're not going to pull the hose out in Foxtrot yet. We want to leave it in on that steep piece. Working up into Quebec, a lot of good work done in there yesterday. What we're getting now is we're getting enough resources where we can accomplish two things at once. They're being able to go direct in there and at the same time build line outside of that so we have extra lines to go off of just in case it squirts out. Also in Division Quebec, they started punching line out the 406 U road and they're tying it in the R line road. Division Papa still looking good. They're running into a little bit of problems up there, but everything that they're running into, they're capturing it. There's little spots outside the line and whatnot, but they are gaining ground up there. It's looking really good. Division Romeo, they continue to go up and they're tying into that Humbug Summit Road. We do have some spots in Humbug Valley, but they've got around those with the dozers. It's out there in the grass, not a big deal, so they were able to get around that. And now they're working across the top to tie it into the north end of Butts Valley Reservoir. Working down into Sierra, they're trying to come up from the bottom and work some road systems in there and then tie it into the south end of the reservoir. The spot in Sierra, it's 300 plus acres right now. Way too steep to put anybody in there at night. I evaluated it last night. I looked at it with the branch in there. We just decided it wasn't safe to put anybody in there. We can go in there and evaluate it today and then get some work done. Union and Whiskey, they basically came across from Highway 70. They're tying it into Lower Bucks Lake. And then on the other side in Division Union, they tied it into, they got about a mile of line to finish tying into 70 on that end. And once they get that piece buttoned in, they'll have continuous line all the way back down to Bucks Reservoir. Have a safe shift in the report.
Thank you, Josh. Moving on to the incident objectives, starting with the management objectives. Utilize the risk management process to identify and mitigate hazards to protect firefighters and the public. Emphasize strategies and tactics that have the highest probability of success and the least exposure to firefighters and the public. Develop strategies to protect life, property, communities, businesses, and infrastructure. Employ tactics that fulfill these strategies while being mindful of the necessity for contingency and emergency plans. Ensure strategies account for incident priorities, applying resources to those with the highest consequences first. Follow COVID-19, CDC, local, state, and federal guidance to limit the virus spread within the incident and the surrounding communities in the fire area. Provide timely and continuous incident information to affected agency partners, cooperators, and the public. And maintain fiscal accountability and keep cost commensurate values at risk. Control objectives. Keep the fire north of Polga Bridge, keep the fire south of Humboldt Peak, keep the fire east of Skyway, and keep the fire west of Snake Lake. Fire weather.
Good morning, Julia Ruthford with Fire Weather. Overall, we're looking at a very similar weather pattern today that we've seen the last 2 days. All the same elements, the hot weather, the dry weather, breezy conditions, and instability are going to all still be in play again this afternoon and evening. Overnight, we saw humidity recoveries in the mid-elevation ridges between about 15 and 20%, so pretty poor up there. Inversion level currently is right around 5,000 to 5,500 feet, and looking at the cameras, you can see smoke rising up above that. So there's already some instability up there, and I suspect some extremely dry air, drier than that 15 to 20% up at the highest elevations this morning. As far as the inversions go, we're going to see it starting to lift out in the south end of the fire about 1100. However, the north end is going to be shaded. That inversion's not going to start to lift out until about 1400. So the net result of that is going to be that you're going to see the instability realized in the southern part of the fire earlier in the day by early afternoon or so, and then the more unstable conditions in the north is going to be delayed till mid-afternoon. So you should see that trend from south to north as far as which areas get active first. Temperatures are going to be almost exactly the same as they were yesterday. Humidities may be a touch drier, about 8 to 11% for your minimum humidities. Winds, you're going to see the same pattern we've been seeing day after day after day, with those northeasterlies through mid-morning, about a 2-hour break, and then the southwesterlies pushing in the afternoon. Sustained winds in the 10 to 15 mile an hour range, with those gusts up to 20 to 25 on the ridges. As you get further north into these drainages, the local winds are going to have more effect, and those will just be upslope, up valley in the afternoon, up by Butte Valley Reservoir. That's going to get more of a southeast component, and that could be another little bit breezier area with gusts in the 15 to 20 mile an hour range. Have a safe shift.
Fire behavior.
Good morning, everybody. Dennis Burns, Fire Behavior. You heard Julia's forecast, and what that means for us is when you walk out of here this morning, take a look at where the fire is. The smoke's laying down over the top of it, pretty thick. It's going to dampen the fire behavior today. If you're on the north and east sides, that smoke may not lift out till quite late. So that's going to provide some opportunities for us because it is dampening the fire behavior. On the south and the west sides, not so much, but where the fire is sitting right now, it's more of a backing and flanking alignment. So again, there are some opportunities for us. Talk a little bit about the fire environment. Hopefully by this time of your careers, most of you know what an ERC is. That's the energy release component. That's that mixture of live and dead fuels. It tells us what is available to burn. Within the last couple of days, we have been setting records, and normally we see our records in late August and September. We're in July. We're off the charts, 100 percentile, okay? One of those components is 1,000-hour fuels, a 6-inch log. We're sitting at 8%. You go to your local lumber yard and buy kiln-dried lumber, that's 11. So that kind of tells you the state of the fuels. That tells you why we're having such issues with spotting. Everything's in play. So take a look at your forecast. If you have any questions, come see me after the briefing.
Operational work assignments.
Good morning, Merrick Fields, Operations or Incident Management Team 1. We're starting to make some progress in here. Down in Alpha, Bravo, Foxtrot, up into Mike. That's pretty much in patrol status. We've got some hose and stuff out there. We need to start backhauling that, getting that trash brought back in. Coming up into Papa, we're around that piece there at the branch break again. We need to get in there. The resources that are in there on that line right now, we're going to wait until the day shift resources get there on the line, and we're going to do a hot handoff so that we keep people in there, because that's what's been killing us, and we're going to get around that piece today. Moving up into Quebec, we've got good dozer line in here all the way out to the Humbug Road. We've got a bunch of dozer line out across there, but we kind of hopscotch through there, so we got to go in there and connect all of those pieces and get it tied all the way into the north end of the Butts Reservoir before the main fire gets there. Coming over into Division Sierra, we've got dozer line coming down out of Canyon Dam, up following the chips dozer lines, and we've also came up out of the Greenville Y on a road system going to that old Chips fire line. We got to finish that little piece in the middle and then bring that dozer line all the way out to where we've got the slop over and get along the north side of that, tie it back into the Highway 70 corridor. Over in Branch 10, over in branch 20 from DP 201, we've got a bunch of dozer line and hand line all the way out there. We've got just that last little piece underneath the power lines to tie into Highway 70. Should have that completed this morning, and then we'll have our primary line all the way from Highway 70 down and around to Bucks Lake. There may be an opportunity for us to go in there and take a smaller bite out of it and get in there a little bit more closer, but we got to wait and see how things go today. The big fire activity we saw yesterday was over in the Bucks Creek drainage. It looked impressive, but the reality is it did that slope reversal, and it started chunking up towards our primary line that we already had in place. And once it hit the top of the ridge, the smoke laid the wind laid the smoke column back over on itself, and it really didn't hurt us, other than it looked impressive. So we've got good line in there. They went in there and did some defensive firing last night, and it's almost to the lower Bucks Dam. So that piece is looking really good. We just need to continue that piece on around to the division break. With that, have a safe shift. Thank you. Oh, want to go back. Sorry, I keep forgetting this. It's not on the map. We have the east contingency and the west contingency. They're out there working on our tertiary lines. They need to continue those pieces all the way and tie them in, and they're working in there behind the homes. And then we have the Almanor group, the Bucks group, the Meadow group, and the Highway 70 group. Those are our surge resources that are scattered out amongst the incident in the event that we need to flex on one side of this fire or another. They're in there working in those communities, evaluating all of the potential assets at risk in there. Thank you. Sorry. There's many areas out here that are we have some sensitive areas out there. There's some black and pink or black and red flagging. So any of the dozers that are out there working and they come across that black and pink or black and red flagging, there's something specific in there, and we need to stay away from those areas. If you come up amongst one of those, there's some reads in the various divisions. Contact the reads, and we'll work those dozers through there. Thank you.
Thank you. And branch and division 204, roll call.
Good morning. My name is Ryan Viorino, Resource Unit Leader, CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 1. This is the operational roll call for today's shift. Branches and divisions, as you hear your name, please stand up, face the audience, and loudly state here. For Branch 1, Petro. Here. With Wallen. Here. Division Alpha Bravo, Finney. Here. Sierra. Darrington. And Chong Pinny Chai, trainee on a 12. Railroad, Sorensen. Here. Kripe, trainee. Lake Almanor, Sternus. Here. Highway 70, Torres. Here. Branch 5, Angler. Here. Foxtrot Mike, Derlew. Here. With Narot, deputy as a 12. And Coos as a trainee. Here. On Papa, Cleland. Here. Branch 10, I have Felix. Here. Novak as a trainee. Here. Quebec, Hollister. Here. Class A, deputy on a 12. Romeo, Mancebo. Morning. I have Hoban, deputy on a 12. Here. For West Contingency, Norman. On a 12, and Guy, deputy on a 12. Here. Branch 20, Shalhoub will be a write-in. Here. And Totoshini as the trainee. Here. For uniform, Milovic. Here. Barnhart as a deputy. Here. On a 12. Manfred as a trainee. Here. And Peralt, trainee on a 12. Here. Whiskey, Watner. Winkler on a 12. Here. Alexander on a 12. Here. And Michael, trainee on a 12. Bucks Lake Group, Barnes. Here. Meadow Valley, Brown. Here. East Contingency, I have Dyer. Here. Edwards on a 12. Here. And Miyagashimi, trainee on a 12. Here. Finally, Silver Dollar Staging with Riley. Thank you, everyone. Have a safe shift.
A couple of quick announcements. For those resources assigned to Branch 20, please see the bottom of your 204 for special instructions and your reporting locations at the end of shift tomorrow. One other thing, we do have the training specialists here on site. If you are here and want to get credit for your trainee assignment, please make sure that you get registered with the training specialist in where check-in is, air operations.
Good morning, Matt Hill, Air Operations, CAL FIRE Team 1. For fixed wing, we'll have air attack and an ASM over the fire right around 0900, along with a couple S2s in tow. Rotor wing, we have 17 Type 1 water droppers, and then we have 5 Type 2s, and we have multiple Type 3s to support for recon and Helco. For night ALS hoist operations, we have Guard A22, and for day hoist, we have 0 Delta Foxtrot. Please monitor air-to-ground command, divisions and above, and then all the ground resources, make sure you're monitoring air-to-ground TAC. I want to make sure you guys all understand, for safety of air operations, there is no UAS or drone operations allowed on this incident unless it's been approved through air operations. Please make it a safe shift. Keep your ear on the radio, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Communications.
Tom Webb, Communications Unit Leader. This morning is another clone morning. Expect that on your next few shifts, just to give you that planning to come in as we change the radio load to get things stabilized for the incident. So yesterday, your guys' last shift, we were able to get up and get hopefully most of our new system in up at Dyer Mountain, covering the Lake Almanor Basin, Colby Mountain covering the upper end of Branch 10, Bald Mountain covering the lower divisions there of Branch 5, Alpha Bravo and stuff. And then the one thing that's still hanging with us is Bald Eagle Peak, the Command 2 that's up there. We weren't able to fly into that yesterday due to fire activity and change it into the new system. So that C2 that's up there, the C46, is kind of on its own little system right now. We're listening to it in the comm van. That's going to change hopefully this morning and get it all tied together so we can hear everything over the incident. As a reminder, those IWIs, I know things are tough out there. We're listening to all those other frequencies that have that backup plan for any IWI. So we're listening to the PNF admin net that we have for Branch 20. We're listening to, obviously, to both sets of frequencies here on the NIFC side. CDF Command 1, Butte Local, Butte Support. We're listening to all those air ground command in the comm van. Go ahead and use those resources. Plan on those human repeaters with your lookouts to be able to have that communications back into our radio system to support you. If you have any questions, come see us in the comm unit.
Medical.
Good morning, Josh State Medical, IMT1 CAL FIRE. Please turn to page 36 in your IAP. On page 36, the resources for today. You have the line medics will meet in the division breakouts after this. You have 2 4x4 ALS ambulances. Ambulance 1 is at drop point 100. Ambulance 2 will be drop point 2, and it'll work that 7D corridor. You have the 2 REMS team. The REMS 2 today will be in branch 10. REMS 3 will be in branch 20. On your 206, the medical plan, a correction to 205 is 0 Delta Foxtrot is the day BLS identifier. The 24-hour ALS hoist was mentioned, it's 822. In camp, we have CalMat, the staff with the MD. You have MERT, the staff with a PA. So for any treatment or supply, please visit them. They also have COVID testing. On box 6 on that medical plan, we need to follow that plan. As we push farther north and east, you're getting farther from definitive care, from a burn center or trauma center. We need you to follow that plan and give us who you are, where you are, and what you need to get you that treatment and transport. Have a safe shift.
Safety.
Good morning, Jesse Winnan, IMT Safety. So a couple things. COVID-19. We've been all dealing with it for a year and a half. It is here, it is in and around us. Please make sure you personal hygiene, hand washing, social distancing when you can. And if you're feeling ill, sick, let your supervisor know. That's doing it for yourself, your friends, your partners, your employees, your family. So please, please be self-conscious of how you're feeling. And if you're not feeling great, let your supervisor know. We will have line safeties in all the branches today. Communications. We heard that we're in a kind of a transition with communications. Know what frequencies you're supposed to be on, and your backup frequencies, especially for the IWIs. Rock slides, off of Highway 70 especially, watch your driving, watch the ground and any rolling material while you're on the fire line. And for the branch 20 resources, those special instructions, it says you guys are going to the Quincy. We're working with different roads, different driving, traffic patterns. Please pay attention to that. Keep it slow, unfamiliar ground. And fire behavior, we all heard from fire behavior. Just heads on swivel, laces, and have a safe day. Thank you.
Logistics.
Good morning, Jesse Morris, Logistics. For those of you that are new to camp, if you could please turn to page 38 in your IEP. This is our service and support schedule for base camp. On page 40 is the CAL FIRE 101 form. This form is for items you may have left on the line or have gotten damaged. You'll need a division group soup signature to get those out of supply. On page 41 is a vehicle repair checklist. This information is needed prior to getting a hold of communications with any mechanical issues. And on page 49 of your IEP is our facility map with all your logistical locations around camp. Have a safe shift. Thank you.
Information.
Good morning, Emily Smith, Public Information, CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 1. If you'd like to join me on page 43, I have some updated numbers for you that you can write into those boxes that are available. So updated acreage on the Dixie incident is at 103,910 acres at 17% containment with 3,919 personnel assigned. We do appreciate all of you continuing to adhere to the federal and CAL FIRE social media policies, and we do ask if you have any video content or pictures to please come by the PIO trailer to have those vetted before you post them. And also we really appreciate those pictures as well, because you guys are our eyes out there, that we could use that information that you're giving us to get back out to the public of the good work that you're doing. We also do have lost and found and mail service that's established at the PIO trailer that's out front in the parking area. So if you have an item that you're looking for, please stop by there. And for mail service, if you could please put down your name and your request number, so that way we can find you when that item arrives. Thank you all and have a good day.
Liaison officer.
Good morning, Nate Armstrong, Liaison Trainee for CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 1. If you're a local government resource and have not checked in with OES, please do so before departing for the line. All other cooperators, we do have a daily cooperators meeting right here at 10 a.m. If you do have any immediate concerns, please catch us after the meeting just to the right of the seating area here. Thank you very much and have a safe shift.
Law enforcement liaison.
Good morning, Julie Powell, Law Enforcement Liaison Trainee, IMT 1. We have established traffic control points at eastbound 70 and Jarbo Gap, westbound 70 at SR 89, southbound Bucks Lake at Riverdance, northbound Oro Quincy at French House, southbound 89 at 36, northbound 89 at 147. Evacuation warnings have been issued in Butte County for the areas of Pulga, Philbrook, Butte Meadows, and Inskip. Evacuation warnings have been issued in Plumas County in the areas of Stover, Chester, Peninsula, Hamilton Branch, the East Shore, Indian Falls, and Butterfly Valley. Evacuation orders have been issued in Butte County in the areas of Jonesville and all High Lakes areas. Evacuation orders have been issued in Plumas County in the areas of High Lakes, Story, Tobin, Rock Creek, Belden, Rich Bar, Virgilia, Twain, Meadow Valley, Bucks Lake, Caribou, Paxton, Seneca, Long Valley, East Buck Lake, and the communities along the west shore of Lake Almanor, to include Prattville, Lake Almanor West, and Canyon Dam. Operations Safety and Liaison continue vetting entrance into the fire area in extreme scenarios. So there could be vehicles, cattle trucks, etc. in the area. Be aware. We know that you're working long hours. Conditions are not ideal. There is debris in the road. There's been several rock slides on SR 70, and Caltrans is in the area clearing rocks. We just want to remind you to drive safe and remain alert. Thank you.
Agency administrator.
Good morning again, everybody. Scott Tangenberg, Agency Administrator for the Forest Service. I heard about 3 things today that I wanted to highlight and recircle on. One was resources. We've got a lot of very important resources out there. Timber resources, heritage resources, there's range cows out there. We really appreciate everything you guys are doing to take care of those things. The other thing I heard about was an ever-expanding list of evacuations. There are a lot of homes and a lot of communities now that are getting further and further threatened by this fire. The work you guys are doing matters. Those people appreciate all of the effort that you guys are putting in. The last thing I heard about, especially from the fuel specialists, was opportunities. Although there's a lot of activity out there and this fire's doing a lot of stuff, yesterday and today and even tomorrow are going to be the days that you have some excellent opportunities to make some great hay on this fire. We're so thankful for the effort that you're able to do and put in. The work you does matters. My parents in Ohio are sucking on the smoke that you guys are trying to extinguish here. You have worldwide importance, not just to the people here in Plumas and Lassen and Butte County. Thank you for everything you're doing for everybody. Take care.
Final comments from Unified Incident Commander.
Good morning, George Juan, Deputy Incident Commander for CAL FIRE Team 1, along with Unified with all the other agencies. 103,000 acres, day 9 of the fire. Team 1 assumed the fire a few days ago, and we're doing everything we can with you guys, with the boots on the ground that's actually putting in work, and I ask you to continue putting in work. A lot of lives are changing from these communities. A lot of evacuations from Greensville, Jonesville, all the communities that we're representing. Remember, as a fire service, we represent the community and the communities that we serve. Pay attention to the PIO message, talk to the communities, and represent all as a whole, regardless of where you're from. 204, pay attention to that special message regarding zones. All right, tomorrow, we didn't touch base on it much in our briefing, but it's very critical that additional bases are being opened up. Pay attention to that special message on your 204 if you are going to be based out of the east zone. We're going to break the fire up into 2 zones starting tomorrow morning. We have Chief Mitten's team that's going to be assuming command of the zone on the east, and we will have zone on the west. Pay attention to those instructions because this is a critical time where many individuals may get lost, and etc. Every branch, every division here has been briefed on exactly where you should be. There should be clear communications with them if there are any confusion. With that, Forest Service, CAL FIRE, one of the most important things that we want to make sure as we start transitioning into different base camps, etc., we are still functioning in this fire as one fire, and we're working together. Every single person will get the same briefing. Our control objectives will be the same, and we're going to pass the message the same from the top all the way down to the boots on the ground. Have a great day.
Thank you, Chief. Okay, breakouts. Let me get through the list before you start moving. If you are an unassigned resource, back where you picked up your IEPs, check in with my resource unit leaders to get an assignment. So starting stage left, Alpha Bravo, Sierra, Railroad Group, Lake Almore Group, Highway 70, Foxtrot and Mike. Along the back wall on the inside, Division Papa, Quebec, Romeo, and West Contingency. Along the wall here, Division Union, Whiskey, East Contingency, Bucks Lake, and Meadow Valley Group, excuse me. All right, turn on your phones, have a safe shift.